Hello, I'm Ashley from Through the Loop Yarn Craft, and today we are going to make the Dahlia Square. I designed this square as part of Sunflower Cottage Crochet's Bouquet of Flowers Afghan Crochet Along. I will link to the bottom if you'd like to see more information from the crochet along. The square, when finished, should be about 10 by 10 inches. I've used Brava Sport Weight yarn in the fig color and the beautiful seraphim color. I also used a 4.5mm crochet hook. The center of the square has loads of texture, and then we're just going to work easy stitches around the edges to fill it in. While you're here, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you'll be notified every time I have a new tutorial out. And I've linked below as well where you can go and check out the Through the Loop Yarn Craft blog with lots of free patterns, and where you can also find the written version of this pattern, and subscribe for the Loop newsletter. So if we grab our supplies, and we will make the Dahlia Square. So here we are, ready to start the Dahlia Square, and we are going to start with a magic circle. So I will show you how I do my magic circle. I just bring my yarn around, cross over, pull up a loop, and chain. Perfect. So we've got our magic circle, and we'll do one more chain, and then we will do 12 double crochets into the magic circle. And 12. Now we will just tighten that magic circle, pull that tail, and then slip stitch to the top of the first stitch. And chain 2. And now we are ready to start round 2. And for round 2, we're going to be working the front post double crochet. So we're going to do our first one around the post of this first stitch here. So we're going to insert our hook in and out, and we're going to work our stitches just like that. So yarn over, insert around the post, pull up a loop, and then finish as your double crochet. And we're going to do our second stitch in the same place. Pull that up. And there we go. So we're going to repeat that around every stitch from row 1 for a total of 24 stitches. One and 2. So go ahead and repeat that all the way around, and I will meet you back for round 3. All right, so I finished up with round 2. I've got my 24 front post double crochets. So we're just going to close up that. We're going to slip stitch to the top of that first stitch and chain 2. So for round 3, we're going to be working with the front post double crochets again. Although this time we're going to be working around 2 posts. So we did the increase, and so we're going to be using both those posts. These are the 2 stitches, so we're going to use both of them. And we're going to do 4 front post double crochet around those 2 stitches. So we'll just do it the same way, just making sure we have both those. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is the stitch that's going to give it the really nice texture. There we go. So we've got our 4 front post double crochets around those 2 post stitches from the previous round. So next we're going to chain 1, and we're going to skip these next 2, and they're kind of moved behind there. So these next 2, we're going to skip those and do 4 front post double crochet around the next 2. So skip those 2 and go down the next ones. And 4, and chain 1. So go ahead and continue that around. We're going to skip the next 2 and front post double crochet 4 times around the next 2. And we're just going to repeat that all the way around. We will end with 24 front post double crochets. Okay, so now we are on to round 4. So we're just going to slip stitch to the top, and we're not going to chain 1. So this time we're going to slip stitch across until we get to our chain space, and we're going to slip stitch in the back loop only. Now you can do another slip stitch in that first one using the back loop only there, and then into the next 3 stitches. Slip stitch, back loop only. 2 and 3. And now we've made it to the chain space. So now we are going to work our front post double crochets again. We're going to do just like we did in the previous round with the 4 front post double crochets around the 2. So we're going to sneak in this time and go around the 2 we skipped before. So we're going to do our front post double crochet around the 2 stitches that we skipped from the previous round. And so just like so. And then be sure to pull that up to make it even. And these ones will be a little bit taller. So 1, and 2, 3, and 4. Perfect. So now we're filling in our spots there. So now we are going to do our back loop only slip stitch on these 4 stitches. So just sneak in behind there and do your back loop only slip stitches. And we'll do 4 of those and 4. And it'll bring us to the chain space again. We're going to repeat that around. We'll do our 4 front post double crochet around the skipped stitches. And then in the top of these ones, we'll do our 4 back loop only slip stitches. We'll repeat that all the way around to the end. Again, we will end with 48 stitches total with the front post double crochets and the slip stitches included. So once we've made it all the way around, we will go ahead and slip stitch to the top of the first stitch again to complete our round. And chain 1. So there we go. We have our little flower forming there, and we are ready for round 5. So for round 5, we are going to be decreasing, and we're going to be working with half double crochet in the back loop only. So we're going to do a half double crochet back loop only into that first stitch. That's the same one we joined with. And into the next stitch. And then we are going to do a half double crochet back loop only, 2 together. So yarn over, insert into the next stitch in the back loop only, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert into the next one after that, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all loops. So there we've decreased that. Now we're going to do the same pattern. We'll do 2 half double crochets, 1 in each of the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and then another half double crochet back loop only, 2 together. Some of those slip stitches are a little tricky to get your hook into. So we will repeat that all the way around. We'll do 2 half double crochets, back loop only, and then 2 together. And repeat that all the way around, and we will end with 36 stitches. I'm just finishing up round 5 with my last decrease. And ready to join for round 6. chain 2. Perfect. So that's how we are looking now after round 5. So moving on to round 6, we're going back to a regular double crochet. So we're going to start with 2 double crochets in the first stitch. And then we're going to chain 1. And then we're going to skip the next stitch and do 2 double crochets in the next stitch. And chain 1. And we're going to repeat that all the way around, and we're going to finish with 36 double crochets. So keep going, and I will meet you back here. All right, so I'm finishing up with round 6. I'm just going to join that together and chain 1. So we've got the floral part done. Now, round 7, this is where I switched colors with the 2 color variation. So if you want to use 2 colors, move on to color 2 now. For this tutorial, I'm just going to stick with this 1 color. Round 7 can seem a bit complicated, but at the base of it, it's a really easy pattern repeat just to go through. This is where we're going to start turning our circle into the square. So with each repeat section, it's the same thing. So we'll go through it step by step. The tricky part is we're either going to be working into the stitch or the chain space, but either way, the repeats are going to stay the same. So we're going to start with a single crochet into the first stitch and a single crochet into the chain space. And then we're going to do half double crochet into the next 2 stitches, a double crochet into the chain space, and a double crochet into the next stitch. Then we're going to do a treble crochet, so yarn over twice, pull through and pull through all, chain 2. This is going to be our first corner, and then another treble crochet into that same stitch. So there is the first corner. Now we will do double crochet into the chain space, and double crochet into the next stitch. Half double crochet into the next stitch, half double crochet into the chain space, and single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So our pattern for the corners, as we can visual now, is 2 single crochet, 2 half double crochet, 2 double crochet. Then we have our treble, chain 2, treble, then 2 double crochet, 2 half double crochet, and 2 single crochet. And we're just going to repeat that all the way around. And the variations are going to be if your stitch goes into the stitch or the chain space. So start with a single crochet into the chain space and a single crochet into the next stitch. Half double crochet into the next stitch, half double crochet into the chain space, double crochet into the next stitch, and double crochet into the next. Now we're going to do our treble crochet into the chain space, chain 2, and a second treble crochet into the same space. And then double crochet into the next stitch, double crochet into the next, half double crochet into the chain space, half double crochet into the next stitch, and then single crochet and single crochet in the chain space. And that ends our second corner. So again, 2 single crochet, 2 half double, 2 double, our corner treble, chain space, treble, 2 double, 2 half double, 2 single. So repeat that 2 more times following the same pattern, and I will meet you right back here. So there we have our square, and round 7 you should end with 56 stitches total. And we are ready for round 8. So round 8 to 11 are all going to be just working with double crochet in the back loop only. And here we are just going to be building up the square now. So once we've finished round 7, you want to chain 2. And we're going to start with a double crochet back loop only in that first stitch. And double crochet back loop only in the next 5 stitches. And 5. And now we've reached this chain space. So every time we reach the chain space, we're going to do 2 double crochet into the space, chain 2, and 2 more double crochet into that same chain space. So now we are going to work 13 double crochet all the way down the side until we reach this chain space. We'll do our same 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in this corner, and then 13 more double crochet, and repeat that till you get to your last corner here, and I will meet you right back here. Okay, so I've made it to the last corner, and now we are going to just finish up this first side. So because we started round 8 with the 6 double crochet until we got to the corner, we now want to fill it in with the remaining stitches for a total of 13. So we're going to do 7 more stitches to total 13. 7. Perfect. So that finishes up round 8. And chain 2. So rounds 9, 10, and 11, we're going to do the same way we did round 8, but each of those rounds is going to increase. So for round 8, we would have finished with 68 total stitches. And now for round 9, we're going to be increasing and we will finish with 80. So let's get started with round 9. So make sure you're going through those back loops only. So double crochet in the first stitch and then in the next 6 stitches. So we'll have 7 total for the first half of this side. Sorry, we'll have 8 stitches. It was the first one plus 7 more. Now we will do our corner chain. So continue down that first side for a total of 16 stitches in between each corner. And I will meet you right back here once we get done with the final corner. All right, so I've made it to the final corner there, and I'm ready to do the last half of the first side. We did 7 stitches over here, so now we need to do 9 stitches to complete the 16. And 9. So we will join to finish off round 9. So round 10 and 11, we're going to do exactly the same. For round 10, just make sure down each side you have a total of 19 stitches for a total of 92. And on round 11, make sure each side has a total of 22 stitches for a total of 104. So go ahead, finish up round 10 and 11, and we will meet back here to do the final round 12. All right, so I have finished round 11, and I'm just going to join that to the first stitch and chain 1. Also, if you were doing 2 colors for the final round of 12, you can switch colors to get that that different look, or you can stay with the same color. If you did all solid color and you want to put in a second color now, you can totally do that as well. So for round 12, our final round, we are just going to single crochet into each stitch around, and then we are going to do 4 single crochets in each of the corner chain spaces. Now you want to make sure here that on going down each side, you have a total of 25 stitches. So I finished up that first part of row 1 with 11 stitches. When I come back around, I'll want to do 14 more there. So we're at the first corner, so do 4 single crochets into that corner chain space. Great, now continue on working your single crochets on the sides and then the 4 in the corner. Just remember you want the 25 stitches along each side. Finish that up and I will meet you right back here. All right, so I have finished up my final row and we can tie that off and ready to weave in our ends. Now you can weave in all your ends and then you can block if you'd like to so that it's easier to put together with other squares if you're making the blanket. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed making the Dahlia Square with me. If you're doing the crochet along, I can't wait to see your finished Afghans. I think they're just going to be beautiful. All the squares are fabulous. While you're here, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and check out some of the other tutorials that I also have available. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.